Hi, I'm John, and welcome to N-Scale Friday. Today we're looking at an American Car and Foundry 17,360-gallon tank car. This particular model is decorated for Kaiser chemicals, and it's from Atlas. It comes from Atlas's Master Series, and at the time of this recording, they have these listed on their website for $39.95. That's the MSRP. And I mentioned MSRP because that's the manufacturer's suggested retail price. That doesn't change no matter where you go. What might change, though, is how much you can actually get it for. So it's good to shop around, and I would do that after looking at Atlas's website because they have a whole huge variety of different road names and road numbers. As a matter of fact, I have another one that we'll be looking at sometime in the very near future that has a different paint scheme on it. But this is the one we're looking at this time, so let's get started. So looking at the paint and markings on this car under magnification, you can pretty much make out everything. The tiniest writing I was not able to make out, but you can see how good it looks. And I'm also thinking to myself, as I'm looking at this, that there's a lot of sort of very finely rendered, separately applied detail on this car, including this little, I guess it's a grab that runs across this whole ladder and top, which we'll look at in a second. We'll look at the roof detail, but this whole ladder and top detail is a separately applied part as well. So we're looking at the brake end here, and you can see that the brake wheel is a separately applied piece, as is this grab that goes across the entire end. Looks pretty good, actually. And something else that's really cool is I'm noticing that there's even some chain detail under there. And I want to show you the brake end from this angle as well, because you can see it has a little placard holder right there. Here's a brief look at the other side of the car, and I'll take this opportunity to point out there's a placard holder here as well. There's one on the other side, but I wanted to save something to talk about on this side of the car. Something else I'm noticing as I'm looking at this through my viewfinder is that there's some detail showing from the underside. We'll look at that in a minute, but I just wanted to point it out because it is visible from this viewing angle. The detail on the A end is consistent with what we saw on the brake end, including that little placard holder down here. And now for a look at the top detail. I was noticing as I was scrutinizing this that the hatch is pretty good, but what's even cooler to me are that these little walkways have the, I'm going to call it the texture to them. And it looks like if you weathered this right, those would really pop. Now here's a look at the bottom of the car. And I mentioned this brake detail that was showing from the side view. It's there. It appears to be molded. And you can also tell from this angle that the couplers on this model are truck mounted. The model weighs 1.1 ounces. According to my cheat sheet, the NMRA's recommended weight for a car of this length is somewhere between 9.5 tenths and 1.1. So probably about 1 ounce. You know, every time I do a product spotlight or N-Scale Friday episode with a tank car like this, I become a little bit more of a tank car foamer, and I really like this model. There's something really appealing, I think, about the size of it, the proportions of the length and height. In this particular case, it's not overly long, it's not too squat, it's just right. Anyway, great job, Atlas. I'll see you next time.